And welcome to PAX East 2015, the Sentinel Tactics Tournament here. We're excited to be here. I'm Christopher Bedell.
And I'm Kyle Snyder.
Thank you so much for joining us for this, Kyle.
Yeah, no problem. It's been fantastic to be here so far.
Yeah, the tournaments, the past two tournaments we've done have gone really well, a lot of great teams. And once again here at PAX East, we have 16 teams participating in this tournament. And we're really excited to see what all those teams bring to the table over the next day and tomorrow,
I think there's going to be a lot
too.
of really cool stuff going to happen. And the map has been redone.
Yeah.
It looks great. And I think it's going to lead to some really interesting competition.
Oh, absolutely. Let's take a quick look at that map so we can see what sort of different stuff we're going to have going on there during the tournament. So you can see here at the very top of the map, we've got that volcano again. And since it's more central this time, I think we're going to see a lot more play out of it.
And the cover down on the bottom sides of the map with the turrets kind of like in the center, I think there's going to be some really interesting counterplay with those turrets.
Yeah, the fact that the turrets are no longer dominating the whole middle of the map, but instead are just at the bottom where you've got a strip of several hexes right through the middle of the map where you're not in the volcano and you're not in the guns, but you're not far from either one. So I'd like to see some movement forcing characters. I want to see some proletariat knocking some people around or something like that.
I think the teams that use the turrets to the best of their advantage
Sure.
are probably going to have a better time in this tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of the teams, let's take a look at the brackets so we can see all 16 of our fantastic new teams. So we've got here on the brackets, let's see, Sack of Tears and Team Meh is the first match here. Team Tachyon and Sentinels of New England is our second team. And the Team Tachyon and Sentinels of New England, they're going to be the ones in the actual first casted match on the table out there.
Fitting for being here in Boston, right?
Right, absolutely. We got Team Tachyon, they're the fastest, and Sentinels of New England, they're local, so it makes perfect sense. We got Evil Dan and his minions versus Spin the Dragon. We have Might As Well Be Chum versus the Ultra Nerd Sexy Club. The Poofy Panda versus the Brown Coats. I like that one. Team of Suck versus Something Clever. That's a good title. Necro Hydra versus Ocelot Attack. And the Teammates versus Fifth Place.
I really hope fifth place comes in fourth place. not to say I don't want them to win the tournament,
Sure,
but
that'd be great.
if they come in sixth place, I think it'll be a disappointment.
Right, but if they go in fourth, it's like, look at that, they've outdone themselves. That's great. All right, it looks like we're about ready to go live. The teams are all set up and ready to go. So let's go to the table here where we're about to begin the first match. Here we go.
It is heads. You guys want first pick and first play, or first ban and pick sides?
So if we draft first, we play second?
No, if you draft first.
So right now they are deciding who is going to be getting first pick and first draft, or first ban and first position play. So what do you like? First ban, first play, first position, or
Personally, I would always take first ban.
first ban, first position?
First ban, because I don't really want to play first.
We're going to ban Citizen Dawn.
Citizen Dawn. Okay.
All right, so they've got. I believe they just banned Citizen Dawn. Yes, they banned Citizen Dawn
And Bunker.
Smart
and Bunker. So they've banned Citizen Dawn and Bunker. So they've clearly watched a couple of the previous tournaments.
Bunker's been seeing a lot of play recently.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, so Team Tachyon took Legacy first. All right, good choice, good choice.
Baron Blade over here.
And Baron Blade for the Sentinels of New England.
We'll take our team name.
All right.
Tachyon, there we go. All right.
Tachyon and Legacy versus Baron Blade and.
All
Team
right.
Tachyon didn't pick Tachyon.
I know, it would have
That
been
would've
a
just
massive
been
disappointment.
All right.
Oh, so we've got all villains on the Sentinels of New England so far. I really hope that this is heroes versus villains.
Don't know any other characters.
All right, Team Tachyon.
Who else do you guys want?
Grab a hero. Come on. You can do it.
You know how to use this guy? I got stuff with Not exactly. I'll take
Absolute Zero. Okay, so we
There
got
you go.
Legacy, Tachyon. So we have representatives from the Freedom 5. Yeah. Oh, wait.
They haven't picked the third one yet.
I believe that was for Team
Deacon.
Tachyon, actually.
Excellent.
Oh, okay.
No
So,
idea.
I'm going to go get you your character details and stuff. As soon as I get him, you can start putting your stuff on there.
Oh, and Beacon is last.
all right, so there we
Oh,
go.
we all know who's playing.
Well, no. Do you know?
Start deciding who's playing what character.
Oh, we're done.
That's easy. Yeah, that one's done.
Yes. Who's playing Absolute Zero?
We didn't even have
Who's playing Legacy?
We didn't have an option.
Legacy.
We didn't know any other
We
characters.
probably should have studied the character list.
All right, so it looks like Team Tachyon is having some second thoughts about their characters, but I'm sure it'll work out. Yeah, so Team Tachyon has Tachyon, Legacy, and Absolute Zero.
I think Absolute Zero can do some real damage on this map specifically.
Sure, absolutely.
His impaling structures in the center of the map can really hamper the other team's strategy.
Yeah.
Especially if they're going to come right down the center.
Yeah, the middle of the map, since you have that big open space in the middle of the map, if they can get some good hazard spaces in there, and Absolute Zero is not really a mega damage dealer. He is an area control guy.
Exactly.
And in this map, we have a lot of great opportunities for area control. So I'd like to see where that goes. And then we've got Baron Blade, Omnitron, and Beacon. And both Omnitron and Beacon have a lot of movement. So Omnitron's going to be able to push people around a bunch, and Beacon's going to be able to do that charge that pushes people into things. I want to see people thrown into turrets. I want to see people thrown into volcanoes. I want to see turrets thrown into the midfield.
Omnitron's interpolation beam can be really useful here because you can move turrets into other people as well. And
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll employ that strategy.
I hope so. I really hope so. All right. Looks like they're still getting all of their characters set up and everything. Getting the map out there. You can see on the top-down shot just how imposing the Omnitron figure is. You can see him there at the top of the map right by the volcano. He's not on the map yet, but he still takes up so much space. I love it.
He is massive.
Yeah, it's great. I've had a lot of people say, oh, man, Omnitron can't be very good because it's so easy to hit Omnitron. And it's like, well, you know, it looks that way, and it is easy to hit Omnitron.
He strikes fear into the heart of his opponents.
Yeah, but I definitely like seeing that figure take the field because it's striking. It looks good from the top-down shot, too. I mean, I like the angle shot, too. But the neat thing is a lot of the miniatures from the top down, you're like, oh, I guess that's a dude or something. but like, yeah, these guys here. Look at Absolute Zero. Look at Legacy. They're ready.
Legacy's doing that leaning back thing.
Yeah, he's got the lean. He's like, well, what have we here?
This should be so easy right now.
I don't think either one of us have a very good Legacy voice. All right.
Yeah, they go first.
So they're getting their turn order tokens, and they're getting their position choices out here.
So these are your turn order tokens. Choose who for the whole game. There you go. Perfect. Good.
All right, so
All right, Baron Blade. Here's Baron Blade's cards. I should go before.
Baron Blade's got his powers. They're getting their stuff all set up.
Do you want to go second? I'll go first.
It is interesting that they're putting Tachyon in the back
Yeah.
of both Legacy and Absolute Zero instead of putting Legacy back there.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that part of their strategy here is the fact that having Tachyon in the far backfield, she can get up front so much faster. Like, her speed is going to be better than Legacy's and Legacy's and Absolute Zeros. So even though she's further away, she's going to get into the fray. And the fact that they put Legacy front makes me hope that he is going to be playing a more aggressive Legacy.
With Flying Smash.
With Flying Smash, with Surge of Strength.
Galvanize.
Yeah, I'd like...
Although that could be dangerous with Baron Blade lurking.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'd like to see Legacy taking a lot of hits for his teammates, but I also like to see him punishing his opponents. I'm hoping that they're going to get out there in the middle. I wonder what turn order Legacy has. It looks like third turn order. So his Legacy's up in the middle, so it'll be first Absolute Zero, then Legacy, and then Tachyon's going to come in and clean up. So the fact that they are Team Tachyon makes me really hope that that they're going to grab Tachyon. I'm also surprised that Sentinels of New England didn't grab Tachyon for the first pick, but it makes sense that they grab Baron Blade. So
It's like, I know you're going to pick Tachyon, but I'm going to get Tachyon first.
yeah, I would love to see someone pull Tachyon away from Team Tachyon because I feel like that she might be the linchpin of their strategy, or it might all be reverse psychology.
I think Tachyon's going to have a hard time
think so?
with Beacon and Omnitron specifically.
And Absolute Zero, here are your base tokens.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
There is a lot of health to get through in that team.
Sure, but I mean, I think that it'll be easy for her. Honestly, I'd love to see a first turn Tachyon push the limits, take 2 turns, get to their backfield, and drop Baron Blade.
Oh, you're going to have to drop Baron Blade pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Especially if you're going to
So-
be galvanizing your team and taking all those tokens. You
Alright,
just
looks like-
can't give him a chance for. You can't give Baron Blade a chance to let him use those tokens against you.
Right. Well, if they're, let's see. Yeah, so Legacy can fully. I think that if Legacy plays pretty sparse with token handing out, like Legacy's turn 3, Tachyon's turn 5. Oh, Baron Blade's turn 4. So that means that if Legacy gives out tokens, Baron Blade does get a chance to steal or use those tokens more accurately before anybody else does. So, like if Baron Blade were in a different position, that would make a difference. But since he's right after Baron Blade being right after Legacy means that Legacy has to be really sparing with those tokens.
And before Tachyon, because you would
Yeah.
imagine that since Tachyon's attacks all have fairly low dice rolls.
Yeah.
Low number of dice, rather, that you'd be giving her those extra plus attack tokens.
What I'd love to see out of Tachyon as an opener is unrelenting momentum and push the limits. Use unrelenting momentum to move, get in their backfield or get right on top of whoever needs to go down. Switch, then use push the limits to take another turn. Switch push the limits out for light speed barrage. Take a point of damage off a light speed barrage in order to then have her make multiple attacks against whoever at probably 6, given her move.
You're going to have to, if you do that, you're going to have to really shoot for an incapacitation.
Oh yeah.
Because if you,
my thinking was 2.
If you don't incapacitate anyone, like doing that, you're far behind.
Oh, it's true. It's true because you're at that point. Tachyon's definitely going down after that. All right, so looks like they're already starting to pick their powers. Good. Tachyon is starting with Synaptic Interruption and Unrelenting Momentum. So Unrelenting Momentum is the one that I mentioned that you would take multiple actions in a row. Or if you take 2 actions in a row, you get to do it a 3rd time for free. And we have it here on screen. You can take a look at it. And so that's good. That allows her to double up on what she's doing. Whereas Synaptic Interruption is her defensive card. It allows her, when she gets hit, she instead will send that hit to somebody else. It gives her a defense token. So it's a good start point for her, especially with her being in the anchor position of 6. So that probably what we're going to see is on her turn, they're going to switch out Synaptic Interruption for something else. But we'll see.
I think getting that +1 attack token early.
Or defense.
Oh, defense rather, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Whereas with... we're still waiting on the rest of Team Tachyon's powers, but Sentinels of New England have all played their powers already. Beacon is using Bolstering Team Up, which is a great card. It lets her help her teammates do things.
It's great action economy.
Oh, yeah, very good, very good. Kriau is her attack that hits a whole line of stuff and blows it all up, so that's great. Here's Bolstering Team Up on the screen.
Great sound effect.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, Bolstering Team Up and Kriau, those are her big cards there. Next, we have Omnitron's card. Omnitron has his Ocular Beams up, so that'll be a nice attack, and a Heroic Tranquilizer. So we see a lot of offense out of Omnitron. And Omnitron's first turn, it's going to be placing a 3rd card rather than switching one of those 2 cards out. I really hope that we see Tactic Sequence.
Tactic Sequence would allow Omnitron to take more actions during his turn.
Yeah.
But I would almost like to see a rocket jump all across the map into a disintegration cone.
Right. And then Baron Blade has his Displacing Teleporter and Saber Battlesuit, but it is time. Actually, it looks like they're rolling their movement. They're not quite ready to start. Yeah, so Baron Blade has the Saber Battlesuit, and it's good to see the Saber Battlesuit because that's his defensive one. And the Displacing Teleporter, I'd love to see Baron Blade teleport from where he is all the way across the map. Like, he can't move quite in a straight line across the map because the edge of the volcano is down there, but he can get all the way next to where Legacy is and put himself in the middle of the stuff.
The other team definitely has to be aware that Baron is starting with the teleporter.
Yeah, I hope that they're paying attention, but it's going to be interesting. I think that this match is going to be a great starting match for this tournament.
I'm very excited to see Absolute Zero and how this team plans to utilize him.
Yeah.
Because we haven't really seen Absolute Zero used very often in tournament play.
Yeah, it's true, but I think this is a good map for it.
Oh, absolutely.
So they are ready to start, and so it is turn 1, and that's Absolute Zero. He's going to run out there and put out some, Absolute Zero starting with the Impaling Structure and the Sub-Zero Atmosphere, so we are going to see those hazard spaces come into play, hopefully.
And a high movement of 5, too, so he can get pretty far out there to the center.
Right, and he's about to play a 3rd card, and it looks like he's going to take Fueled Freeze, absolutely.
Which makes sense.
That gives him more. He's certainly going for a hazard sort of build. I love it. And just so, since we didn't cover it earlier, Legacy is currently running with Galvanize and Inspiring Presence. So Legacy is going to be handing out tokens unless he switches out.
It's going to be interesting because Baron Blade with the teleporter can switch out. Can switch out his Saber Battlesuit, teleport right in there, and just cause mass devastation if the other team is not aware of Baron Blade's one-shots.
I am interested to see. Okay, so great. Absolute Zero is running right there to the middle. And I want to see a line of ice. Come on. Ice is nice.
A line of ice right down could force the other team into the turret territory.
Yep.
In order to move, or force them
to go over the line of ice.
Through the volcano.
Oh, yeah. At this point, they're either going to have to go through the mountains, the volcano, the turrets, or the impaling structures.
So you can place them in adjacent hexes on the map. So anywhere on the map, as long as they're adjacent to each other. Well, one has to be within.
And with only Legacy having mobility, he's the only one that can really move through that mountainous terrain, just without taking other move actions, because he has flying.
Oh, but it's actually 4 of those because you No, well, it doesn't. It does attack teammates.
Yeah.
Right.
Looks like there's some confusion about what the impaling structures actually do.
Yeah.
They are hazard spaces.
Yes.
So an enemy character would have to move through them,
Right.
and it would cause a free attack.
Right, and if a teammate steps on them, it's going to hurt them. Although Absolute Zero does have his Sub-Zero atmosphere going on, so if they stay close to him, they're fine.
And another important thing about impaling structures is they raise the hex that they're on by
They do.
1 elevation.
So if he
it
drops
really
that line,
screws with line of sight.
right? So if he drops that line down the middle, Baron Blades
Blade
teleports.
cannot teleport.
Well, he can teleport to the top of the line. But so far. So he's not dropping a line down the middle of the map. He's instead pushing a line towards them. I mean,
Yeah, that's a very good point. Because then you can see you can see what it actually total is. It doesn't matter. Right, but
They definitely want to force the other team to the south of the map,
yeah. I mean,
where it'll be much easier for Tachyon to get to him.
so even though that line didn't go up and down like I wanted it to, it did actually cut off Baron Blade's line of sight pretty significantly. So he no longer teleport right up to where Legacy is. He had to have to teleport like down into the middle. So that'll be interesting to see. You can see there in the middle of the map with that line of tokens coming out towards Baron Blade. We'll see what happens on Baron Blade's turn. I would like to see him switch that teleporter out for something else probably to get the token.
Absolutely.
All right, so Beacon's going to do some flying.
that's one. Yep, exactly. And you got it. No adjacent line of sight.
You turn off.
Yep. So yeah, any of those. Cardinal six. All right, so you've got.
So the ice is.
It'll be
All
interesting
right.
to see if Beacon uses bolstering team up on Baron or Omnitron.
Oh man,
If you want to use bolstering team up on Omnitron to get him further up the map quicker,
yeah. I would if I were her, I would lead off with the bolstering team up on Omnitron, so that both of them can get into the middle. And in fact, that's what it looks like they're going.
And we're gonna take action now and anyway.
There we go.
All right, Omnitron, what's your action?
There we go. I'm glad they can hear me.
I think it's a smart move.
I don't think they
I
can
think
hear
it's a
me.
very smart move.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, just looking at the top of the screen here on the feed, you can see the hit point disparity between the teams. I mean, Omnitron has more hit points than anybody else in the game, and Baron Blade, their lowest hit point person, still has one more hit point than Tachyon. So they are playing some beefy characters here.
And both Beacon and Baron Blade and Omnitron both have really good defensive
They all do.
power cards
They
they
all do.
could switch in.
I would like to see them not play those defensive power cards and instead play those pure offensive power cards, but that is always going to be my preference. I always want to see aggressive play. Okay. So Beacon flew right up there at the top. She can't see anybody from where she is, though, because of those mountains.
One right now, so I will move to there.
Oh,
Oh, that's interesting.
are they?
Yeah.
He has. So
Yes.
if he's in these three, and he
You
moves
can actually
one,
move a
and he
little bit
becomes
farther.
these three.
Really?
So what you do is you choose one of your hexes to be
Because
the
Omnitron's
starting
so
hex.
big, it's really interesting when you
Then you
move
count
him,
one.
you can pivot him.
Okay,
Yeah.
then you
So
gotta
like
end
he can move farther down the map than maybe his move value implies.
Oh, absolutely. So he's got. I've heard him referred to as the magical cartwheeling Omnitron, because you pick one of the points, move that point, and then pivot all the way around. So like he just did, a movement of one actually jumps him like 4 spaces.
I think this is really interesting. Instead of the Sentinels of New England being pushed down to the south of the map to utilize the cover, they're just going right above those impaling turrets.
I'm thrilled that they're going north of them as opposed to going down by the turrets. Like,
I think they're telling Team Tachyon, come into the lava.
oh,
Along one of the 6 cardinal hex directions, Beacon makes this attack against each target in that line, ignoring range.
Okay, so here's the difficulty though. You don't have line of sight to any characters along that line.
It's true.
Because there's an intervening you must
And I think this is
draw a
really
line
smart
with
by Sentinels of New England, because
either the
Beacon, Omnitron 5, and Baron Blade all have push abilities. They can easily push characters. I mean, if Team Tachyon follows them to the north side of the map,
Yeah.
they better be careful, or they're going to find themselves
and Tachyon
like
Legacy
knee-deep
and
in lava.
yeah, if Tachyon Legacy and Absolute Zero do not have any sort of pushing, Beacon, Omnitron, and Baron Blade all do. So it is certainly in their best interest to get up there next to.
If that is their
Okay.
strategy, I think this is going to be incredible.
Yeah.
Seeing more lava play, I want people to burn. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
And you're one of them.
I'm one of them.
So can I still use it if I hit?
All right, so Beacon is still figuring out.
line of sight to this partially because of that 4 in your way.
But there's no 4 in my way. There's a 3. That's 3.
Oh, I'm sorry, because of the 3 in your way, but this is it. This is still taller than the 2.
The thing that they're figuring out right now is the line of sight rules go from the origin point to the end point, and if there's anything that's anything in there that is higher
Then either point
yeah,
between you.
then it can't hit it.
It blocks line of sight. So because that 3 is higher than 1 and higher than 2, it blocks line of sight.
Because Beacon is not standing on the edge of that
Right.
cliff,
Yeah.
she can't really see absolute 0.
All right. That Beacon was starting here. She could have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's as far as she could have gone, it looks like.
I mean, Beacon has cards where she can ignore line of sight if she wants to.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, what she could have done is instead of having Kriau out, she could have picked up her piercing eye beams and just gotten to there and make her basic attack against Absolute Zero, even without having line of sight. But okay, so Beacon is taking her second attack. It's a dodge, and we are on to Legacy's turn.
I know, but I thought I could, like...
I know, yeah.
Sorry.
All right, so reroll movement, and then 4.
All right. And now that she's in the middle of the field, 4 is plenty for her to get around since she has mobility.
So that is Legacy.
Especially if they're all going to be moving to the top, 4 movement will be
Okay, so
plenty.
Legacy is switching out a card, so we're going to get rid of one of the token generators.
Yeah, give it a whirl.
Oh,
Flying Smash?
yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Looks like she's holding it.
I mean, she could move up. Legacy does currently
It is
have a
Flying
speed
Smash.
of 6, so she could move and Flying Smash.
So you've got 2 actions then.
Yep.
So for Surge, me and an ally in line of sight.
Right, so you, Legacy, are within line of sight of actually both allies. Let's say all allies or one
Yeah, she
ally?
is in line of sight of
Each ally.
all
Each
2
ally,
for
so you're
allies.
within line of
Right
sight
now.
of both of your
We
allies.
all get a +1 attack.
I would say all 3 of them are picking up attack +1. It's probably not enough for Baron Blade to want to go after it. 3 isn't really worth it, but if they start building and don't spend them, that could. It's gonna be a risky thing.
They're going to want to spend those attack +1
Oh my
tokens
goodness! Oh my
almost as soon
goodness!
as
Look
they
at where
can.
she's. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh, 4 hexes.
5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. She could do it if she flies. No. So here's the thing. If she flies Legacy straight up towards the volcano, so she goes 1, 2, 3, 4 towards the impaling structure, then 1 up into Absolute Zero space, and then 1 so she's in between Absolute Zero and Beacon. Then she could take it 1, 2, 3, 4 and
With
end
Flying
up
Smash.
with Flying Smash and end up right between. She would end up right between Baron Blade and Omnitron, hitting them both with
Hitting
Flying
them both.
Smash. It is possible for her to do it. 3.
Flying
There
right,
she goes. There she goes.
Flying right into
No,
the
no, no, no.
line
You could
stem.
get it. You could get it. She's looking at it and she's counting it out. And I want her to. If she takes the most direct line, she can skip the ice. She can avoid those attacks, which she doesn't even need to worry about it actually, because Absolute Zero has Sub-Zero atmospheres. But there is a straight line that she can make.
Something is possible, but I can't tell you if you should.
Right. I really want to see her make that attack.
I mean,
So
I
green is a line of sight 1.
I
It's
can
the only time
also attack here.
They're like infinitely tall trees. They're infinitely tall. It's like you're in Critique and there are Wookiees in there. You can
All
never-
bringing
you
out
can
the
never
Wookiees?
see-
Yeah.
You can just walk right through them. But you can't see.
Oh yeah, you can attack her.
Yeah.
So I'll be here. Oh no, it's a regular one.
Okay, so she.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then from there, she can make a straight line. If she moved to that point that she originally pointed at, and then moved straight forward,
Otherwise, it's always symmetrical.
I really, like, she'll do what she wants, but I really want to see her get that early attack against the.
I mean, Flying Smash just gains so much more value when you're
2,
attacking
3,
more
4,
than one
5.
target.
Oh no, wait.
1. You can do it. 2.
Oh yeah, that's okay because is it up to? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so
She's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Here you go.
and then I'm gonna use flying smash.
Yep.
Okay. Where's she
You
going?
can get over there.
So I can move up to 4 spaces, but I'm just gonna move 1.
Okay.
Oh, she's just going after Beacon.
Okay.
That's
So
fine.
then I'm attacking.
You're attacking Beacon then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Legacy has to be very careful. Being within 2 hexes of that lava,
Yep.
Omnitron's just
Yep.
thinking, oh, I can absolutely push you into that
1, 2,
into that
3.
lava.
Yep. On the. I want to see.
Omnitron's interpolation beam allows him to move characters within 2 radius hex of him,
Yep.
and Legacy is right there on the cusp of being pushed into that lava.
Yep. Well, and that's the thing is that if Omnitron is going to get out an interpolation beam, we're gonna like let's see, the interpolation field rather. The interpolation field, it moves each enemy in radius 2 hexes. So from where he is, you could easily, Omnitron could step up and throw Legacy right into the volcano.
So I was here.
Yes, you were.
So
Yes.
You can go there, no problem.
Oh, okay, sure.
I think that is a much smarter move.
I think it's
Maybe
good.
she doesn't realize that Omnitron has interpolation beam,
It's possible.
but I think that would be a much safer move.
Yeah, it's safer. But it's going to give you more range
Take
issues.
the white die out of there.
You were definitely in the middle of the lines then, though.
Yeah.
You were surrounded on all sides.
But I love how aggressive they're being. I love the aggressiveness.
All right, 1s and 6s are auto misses. Roll 6 red dice. You got exactly
6 red dice. Fantastic. Here we go. So the 1s go
Oh,
away.
wow.
Oh
That is
my gosh.
such a-
3 2s.
That's bad.
3 1s. That's
3
2s are coming at you.
at Beacon, and she rolls 3 defense dice. And actually, hold on.
And I thought Dice.
I don't
hated
think that
me.
even makes range from the origin because the attack's happening at range 1, 1, 2, 3. Nope, the 2s don't even make range to Beacon
That
because Beacon's
is-
standing up on an
that is
elevation
a
3.
whiff.
Ah.
So the 2s
Wow.
make range because you're at elevation 1. she's at
Oh my
elevation
gosh.
3.
If she'd made that same attack against
That was a really
Bunker,
great
against Baron Blade and Omnitron, it would have worked.
because you don't get attacked. All right,
Whoa.
Beacon, you can
3 2s are. It's a pretty bad roll.
movement.
I'd be very surprised if they couldn't just deflect all of it with their defense die.
Oh yeah, no, she was probably going to block all of it anyway. But my goodness.
Yep, exactly. This is the first couple games when you're so like, okay, I don't know how to go. They always are. Yep, it's fine. Yeah.
All right, so here we go.
Now you turn that 3 upside down. Now it's 4. Now it's Baron Blade's turn.
So if I move here,
Yes.
I'm at range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So I am going to swap.
He might be thinking about Vision Blaster right here.
Vision Blaster.
Yeah!
Ah,
When I do that, I gain a attack plus 1
Yes,
token.
you do.
here we go. I think he's setting up for a huge Vision Blaster
It
against
is-
Legacy.
Yeah, and it is potentially possible that he could.
My second action is I'm going to aim.
Yes!
He's using the aim token, which is
I'm at range 5.
you almost have to use aim
At
with
extreme-
Vision
at
Blaster
extreme
when
ranges,
you're
absolutely.
far back.
If you're attacking at like 4, it could work out.
Your
So,
attack was what? So 6 dice with Vision
so if he
Blaster.
gets a 6 and he gets no 1s and Legacy rolls poor defense, that could be their first incapacitation.
1, right? Your auto misses are
Vision
1.
Blaster can be such a devastating
And you're
attack.
aiming. Right, so, but are you using your aim token on it? Yes, right.
All right.
So 1s are auto misses. You throw away
Use
raw
that aim
1s,
token or lose
and
it.
then round
Yep.
every other die that you have up to the highest.
All right, so here we go.
If you roll a 5 or a 6, it'll all run to 5, 6 and make range.
Boom. So the 1 goes away, so it cannot be a 1-hit kill.
But the rest of them turn
Well, the
into
rest
Those
of
are
them turned into 5s. They
So-
weren't 6s.
So
but
it's not 6 6s against Legacy, but it is 5 5s,
5 5s.
and that's going to be pretty good.
that's a very good attack.
That's a
roll.
fantastic attack. So 5 5s,
You rolled your 3 defense. Yep.
and then here we go.
And
And
it's like
none of it.
none.
5 damage.
Oh man!
Still
So if it
there.
had got if that 1 had to been rolled, that would have
That
been a
would've
kill.
been-
And then
in-cap.
that is your turn, Baron Blade.
I really love when Legacy loses all of his hit points. Then his eyes are just in the feed, at the top of the feed, in Legacy's icon. His eyes are just peeking out into the field of damage.
He's like swimming in damage. He's like, help me.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah. No, it's fine. I don't need to roll anything. Yep. that'd be good.
You gotta wonder what
Right,
Tachyon
right.
is
And now it is turn
Tachyon
five,
is
so
thinking
it is
right
five.
now.
All
Is she
right,
gonna like?
Tachyon. And her movement. So right now, Tachyon's movement is. Let me pull it up here. She has a movement of 6, so she is moving her first, and she has movement. Won't stand still. So she has mobility and a movement of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
So that's one action.
There's one action. Yep.
She could take now.
Sprint and attack
Yes.
automatically.
You're gonna sprint and attack. Yep.
Yeah, she's gonna be utilizing that unrelenting momentum.
She spends it there and attacking Tachyon.
Yep. You're gonna attack.
And since she has unrelenting momentum, if she sprint attacks and sprint attacks, then she gets to do a free sprint attack.
3 attacks and you auto miss your
Yeah, and every time Tachyon does sprint, she does get a free attack.
attack.
5-4-4.
5 4 4 is going to Beacon. Let's
She
see what
won't
Beacon
roll
can do.
many die for each of those attacks, but there'll be a lot of attacks
Right.
come Beacon's way.
And she can go into Lightspeed Barrage mode, where she pays health to make those attacks equal to her speed. And if she's in World Standstill mode, that would be 7 die in this case.
Using your die.
But yeah,
Here we go.
here we go.
You're rolling your.
Oh, and Beacon is actually dodging against his 5 4 4.
Your defense dodge. So the dodge doesn't give you another die. It instead rounds all of the dice up to the highest.
like a
It's like the counterpart of aim.
It's interesting using dodge here, but I guess you just want to like
Well,
avoid as
5 4
much
4,
damage as
yeah.
possible. seeing Legacy like almost.
And it's a
at
good
the
thing
brink
that
of
she
health.
did. It's a good thing that she dodged. Otherwise, she would have taken 2 damage. Instead, she only takes 1.
Otherwise, you would have taken. Yep.
All right, so Beacon takes a hit.
Okay, you're going to sprint and then attack again, right? That's your third action. Yeah, that's fine.
And I have to.
Okay.
All right.
Going to get another attack here.
All right. 5-3-3. Cool. Yeah, this still gets you. Yeah. All right, and it's yeah, 6 blocks to 5, and the 4 blocks to 3.
Okay.
And another point of damage.
1 more damage.
And then you're going to unroll into momentum. Sprint attack again.
Tachyon's doing her job, just picking off some health.
And it's interesting that Tachyon's staying where she is. So, at this point, I'm a little worried that Omnitron's going to throw Tachyon in the fire. 4, 4, 5, 3.
It was such low health pool.
Yep.
Tachyon in the fire.
Oh! So the 2 1s block nothing. The 6 blocks 1, and Beacon takes 3 damage. So both teams currently have a Parsons at 1 hit point.
The Legacy family just can't catch a break today.
No.
All right. Good job. All right.
What a great turn by Tachyon there. There was a lot of damage done.
And your movement is 4.
Excellent. Okay.
It's pretty low movement roll for Tachyon.
So now we're in the last round, the last turn of the round.
I'm going to play Tactic Sequence.
Tactic Sequence. Okay, so Tactic Sequence, the reason we're excited about this card is that it's great. It is a fantastic card that we'll pull up on screen here that allows Omnitron to have an extra action and do some exciting things.
Well, no, because I think if I attack these 2 with this, I have reach +1 now. And then I can also put the radius there to attack these 2 without attacking him.
I was really hoping for an interpolation beam here.
Yep.
All right.
I was really hoping for an interpolation beam here, so Omnitron could move in and just kind of push Tachyon right
Well, he
into
could
the
have
fire.
pushed Tachyon into the fire, pushed Absolute Zero somewhere else, and pushed Legacy onto an impaling structure.
Okay. Yep. You move. Move is the second. Aim and then move.
Right. And then I will now use ocular beams to attack 2 different targets,
Right,
which
ocular
would be
beams.
these 2 targets.
Great. Cool. Yes,
that was
and
my
you've
third.
got line of sight to both of those because you're on. Yep.
How much are you possibly going to do?
So I'm going to spend my aim.
It'd be
to
wonder.
apply to
I
both
wonder
of
if they're
them.
going to be using the ocular beams, or if they're going to, or if Omnitron's thinking about debuffing.
Oh, that's true.
So he's got a card that gives him 3 actions. Yeah. So yeah.
You pick any 2 targets you can see.
So yeah, Omnitron has played Tactic Sequence, which gives him better actions, and then Omnitron's getting in there, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, both his remote tranquilizer and ocular beams can attack both characters of the opposite team, but remote tranquilizer can be useful to give the other team negative attack and negative defense tokens.
Okay. Cool. So you roll a bunch of dice. It's the same dice, but it's aimed against Tachyon. So yeah, so it's 5 dice with auto miss on 1, 2, 3. Yep. So you throw those away and then round everything else up and just attack.
Oh, this is exciting. Big attack coming.
All right. So the 2 and the 3 and the 1 go away. So there's a 5 and a 6.
Oh, so many die, but only 2.
And 2 6s going against Tachyon.
Only 2 get through.
I'm not Beacon, sorry. It should be
But a 5 and a 6 is nothing to sneeze at, though. You still have to roll pretty high in your defense die, or you're taking damage.
Yeah, here we go.
So Legacy, roll defense. You got a 5 and a 6 coming at you.
Can he survive?
And you don't. So you take.
That is our first in-cap.
Oh wow,
For
there you go.
Sentinels
That's
of New England.
Team Sentinels of New England has gotten 1 point.
Legacy goes down, and I wonder if they're going to scare him into a more defensive power set now.
It's possible, and yeah.
Oh, and they
There you
push
go.
him right into the ice while he's dead. And it's a little insult to injury.
Yeah,
don't you
and
think?
Tachyon's rolling defense against his attack as well, so I'd like to see. Oh, and it's aimed. So,
Well, you can
there we
only
go.
aim versus one character.
Right,
though.
right. So the aim, Tachyon took the aim to 1, took 2 damage. All right.
Pull those dice out of that tray here. There you go. Oh, 5. Oh yeah, you get 1 more. You got to roll 1 more. So 5, 5, 5. All right, so 5.
Speed 5 then.
That's shocking.
Wow, Tachyon. That Omnitron is
with a movement of 5.
can get across the field
is
easily, like 1, 2,
ridiculous.
3, 4, 5, and pivot. Yeah, anywhere he wants.
And Omnitron's move, he has to roll 3 die, and he's forced to take the lowest one for his movement roll. So,
And
like,
yet-
what are the odds of catching a 5 there?
Yeah. All right, Absolute Zero. get back in
How
there.
does incapacitation work when
So
she gets back?
at the start of your next turn, you stand back up at full health, and you don't have any powers in play, but you can play 1 from the beginning of your turn.
And when does this apply?
What?
When does this
If you enter it or end your turn.
I wonder if Absolute Zero is going to create more impaling structures, maybe force Beacon to move.
I'd love to see Absolute Zero ring their opponents in those.
All right. So yeah, does that make sense?
Like,
Yeah. So you'll do that on your
Absolute Zero could put a line right through Beacon, maybe diagonally, maybe go up to Omnitron, maybe come down and do that line that I wanted in the first place. You never know.
I mean, if he makes a line of impaling structures up all the way almost to Omnitron,
Yeah.
you could really impede where he wants to move. He'd almost have to move backwards and around.
Yeah. I really hope
Or
that
move
Tachyon
right
stays
into
in
the
that area,
volcano.
and then Omnitron steps in and throws her in the lava.
I think it would be worth taking the hazard attack
Yeah.
if you want to throw Tachyon into the lava like that.
Yeah.
Do we give teams bonus points for just awesome volcano kills?
We yell a lot about them on the feed, and those are good yells. You want to be able to go back after a match and watch the feed and see the commentators yelling excitedly about something you did. All right, so Absolute Zero looks like he's hanging out. He's got 2 actions. I'm curious to see what he does with them.
I think continuing with the impaling structures is the way to go here.
Actually, you could even
but
put
he can
impaling
also
structures.
use his +1 attack token to try and nail Beacon.
Yeah, I'd go ahead and put
And
impaling
tie the game
structures
up.
all around Beacon, all over Beacon, and then that way you, and then the attack +1 token will happen on a hazard attack.
Don't want to be responsible.
When do I roll movement? At the beginning of my
Yeah.
turn?
When you stand back up, you roll movement. Yep.
Attack.
Just
Attack.
movement,
All right.
get all your health back. You can play a power. Yep.
All right, they're figuring out what he's going to do.
Yeah, you could surround Beacon with impaling structures. You kind of hinder Tachyon a little bit.
You could also put 2 so that one's in front of Absolute Zero, one's on top of Beacon, and then put the other ones under Legacy so that on Legacy's turn he can't as easily get out of the hazard spaces.
But Absolute Zero's on Legacy's team.
That's true. I'm just like, well, you could mess this guy up. No.
Legacy, you failed me, so I'm just gonna impale you more.
A Legacy. Oh.
What's coming in?
He's switching out of power here.
Oh, look at that.
All right, cool.
Look at that field.
Cool.
All right, so
Legacy's
I got
down.
First power or first,
Yep, first
action
action.
is to attack. I can attack her, right?
Yeah, you're gonna cool it blast against.
Or I can cold snap, right?
Or yeah, you can do either one.
It's like line of sight.
Oh, that's true. You don't have line of sight, so you can't do that now. You can move and do it.
So once again, there is that hex in between Absolute Zero and Beacon, and
And with Absolute Zero only having 2 actions, it would take his entire turn to move up that mountain and then attack.
and yet it looks like that's what he's doing.
1, 2, 3.
3. It's 3.
So there's 1 hex over and then 2 up. Yep. So move is your first action.
This is my first action. Right?
So he made the away and Joe.
And then just attack, right?
Yeah.
So, all right.
Wait a second.
Where's my
Which attack are you doing?
Cold snap.
Cold snap. All right, you're gonna do a cold snap. Sounds good.
Yep,
So
it
there's
looks
4
like he's
dice,
gonna,
one missing, 2 threes.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to knock Beacon out and tie this game up.
Excellent.
You could use an extra one.
I've really liked the aggression in this game so far. I think it bodes well for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, I'm glad that by the end of the first round we were already seeing
Oh,
attacks.
And that's a pretty low roll.
Yeah, and
It's not going to be hard to block
it's
a 1 attack
impossible
die.
to not.
You can roll 1 more die.
And he's using his +1 attack.
Oh,
token.
interesting.
So a 2. So a 1 and a 2.
That is terrible. No, 2s don't count. Oh my gosh, I can't roll worth.
Oh boy.
We've seen some really bad rolls.
Good aggression.
Coming from Team Tachyon today.
We like the
and-
aggression, but the dice don't seem to.
Oh, no. It has not been kind to Team Tachyon.
All right, 3. That's good. Now it is turn 2. So now it is Beacon's turn.
They couldn't get that 1 point of damage, and I think Beacon is going to make both of them pay dearly for this.
Seems likely.
Now, Beacon also has ways to attack multiple characters, and I wonder if she's going to switch that power in. Maybe take out Kriau.
That'd be great. I would like to see
Or take out bolstering team up.
Yeah, I mean, with Beacon, I'd really like to see her pull out her her head-on collision and throw some people at the volcano, or her focused blast and just burn someone down. Because focused blast is that one that you roll all your dice and then anything that gets past the range.
But they put in next evolution, and this is what I was talking about, and this will allow her to attack both characters as long as one of them is adjacent to her.
Yep. She has lots of good options.
So my first attack, whenever I make a first attack, that attack may attack 2 different targets. At least one of those targets must be adjacent to me.
Correct. So the first
Do you think
attack
he
that's
Kriaos both Tachyon and Absolute Zero?
Yes.
That'll be my first one, and then I'll do this one last. So I'm going to use.
Oh, man.
Oh,
She
man.
gets a second incapacitation right now.
I mean, this might get 2 incapacitations right here.
hit one and then the other one. Yeah.
So I'm going to Rio.
You roll 5 dice, and it auto misses the perks, and then it applies to those 2 different characters. They both roll d8.
Team Tachyon's got to be sweating right now.
Yep, they should be.
That's a lot of attack dice coming their way.
Oh, the 4s.
Oh.
It's just a 6.
Wow.
1-6 against both Tachyon. So there's not going to be any incapacitations off of this attack.
Team Tachyon must be like
So
wiping
Tachyon
the
takes
sweat off
nothing?
their brow and being like, thank God.
All right. Nothing. So Absolute Zero takes 8 points of damage, but that is not enough. That said, yeah. So there was a chance if he'd rolled well on that first one that he could have taken both of them out this turn by killing Tachyon, hurting Absolute Zero, and then Atomic glaring Absolute Zero. But now I'm guessing Tachyon's got a shot at going down here.
Or they could have just used the first action to
So the
aim.
4's on auto miss. Yep, that's true.
And the second action to probably aim that at Absolute Zero
Yeah.
and hope you had a good enough die roll
It
to
blocks it
take
to the one.
Tachyon out.
Tachyon's not quite dead yet. But Tachyon does take 8 points of damage off of that attack. So even though both Beacon and Tachyon are sitting at 1 point, the Sentinels of New England do have 1 incapacitation already, and so they're significantly ahead.
And I think it's worth noting that Tachyon, with only 1 health, a lot of her really good options
That's true.
for like massive turns are off the table now.
I feel like I'd like to see Legacy, being where he is, to stand up, put down Motivational Charge, because giving Tachyon 1 more hit point will actually make a huge difference. Or Flying Smash. Always like that Flying Smash for some good moving hits.
A motivational charge against Beacon to, 1, tie the game back up,
Yep.
and heal her team out of like some dangerous territory, especially Tachyon.
Yeah.
It could be looked at here.
Yep. We'll see what happens.
All right, I will go here.
Okay, good move there.
So close.
That's your
I
first
know,
action.
but
Yeah, no.
All
First
right.
action is move.
and then I'm gonna hit Beacon
You hit a bunch of
And she did pick up Motivational Charge as her power.
with motivational charge.
See, there you go.
I think that's a smart play.
3 dice that auto miss on 1s and 2s. Right?
So as long as she doesn't roll any 1s and 2s, she's almost certainly taken out Beacon. 2 2s and a
2
3.
2s.
1-3.
Oh my goodness, so many auto misses today, and I don't feel like we've seen this before. And those are all blocked.
I mean, I think the dice have been pretty bad for both teams.
I get health, and each ally regains 1 health.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
Oh, I get health?
You're at full, but yeah, each of you guys regain 1. So that is still this on. Okay, great. And then you reroll movement and end your turn. And then it's going to be Baron Blade's turn. You move in a 6.
All right,
So
so
now
yeah, that motivational charge did help a lot.
You have 2.
Do I have line of sight to here?
To which one?
This one.
This hex?
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
you do,
healing
because
both her
it's from
teammates
anywhere in a hex to
is
anywhere
very
else in a
important
hex.
right
So,
here.
yes. Right, but if the line had to go through there, it would block it. But you can draw a straight line from like this edge of it over to that edge of it, and it doesn't pass through that. And so yes.
Now if I'm here, do I have line of sight to here?
Now, Baron Blade is looking to move
Yes,
to the
you
south
do,
part of the map.
because
I'm
there are the only
Interestingly, the
hexes
place
are
that
1s
Baron
and
Blade
2s.
is pointing
You're
at
on a 2,
jumping
and that's
into
a
would put him in range of a turret.
I wonder if he realizes that.
6 because it's up. It's up to it. So actually, it would be range 1, 2, 3,
And he has to
4,
and he has to
5,
know that those
and then
impaling structures will block line of sight.
Yeah.
You're at 2, and that's it.
I really hope that he jumps into the turret range
That you want
and
to
gets a
do.
rude awakening off of that.
I know what the question you're asking, and that will work, depending on how good you are at rolling dice.
If you make range, right? That's the question. Is he has to make.
Yeah, he can't move south of those impaling turrets and still have line of sight here.
Which if you aim, you need 1/6, but you better have enough dice to get that 6.
Is there a way you could get closer?
Or play better?
No,
Or play better?
I can't see.
I think he's looking to set up another big vision blast.
You know
Yeah.
what? YOLO.
Yeah.
And
All
he's,
right.
he's looking to get like enough range to make that blast worth it.
Teleporter, you get a
Oh boy.
He's switching out for the teleporter.
I'm going to displace teleport.
Why am I not dead yet?
Oh,
I think he just realized. I think he just noticed that the turrets are there.
I don't think he was up there on that two space, was he?
There, you don't have line of sight to absolute zero.
But you do to.
But you do, yes.
Oh,
you do to
he's using his teleport to jump up there.
Maybe.
Okay, you can agree with yours. I don't think
Okay. Yeah. No. I think he was up there.
you realized that you were going to teleport into some turrets.
Yes.
Now,
Wondering if you were just
with
if you
kinetic
really needed to teleport
redistributor,
into turrets.
he may not realize this, but what Baron Blade could do
Yeah.
is he could teleport into the impaling structure,
Yep.
attempt to block that die,
Yeah.
and every die he would block then would be reassigned by kinetic redistributor into all the enemies around him.
Yep. Yes, there would.
And that would be exciting.
The only one it hit, unfortunately, would be Absolute Zero because they wouldn't be able to get line of sight from the point of origin to Tachyon and Legacy. I guess you could do it here and hit Legacy.
Now, if he did that, could he also potentially attack Beacon, like unknowingly?
I believe specifically that the kinetic redistributor says each enemy in radius 2, and it in fact does.
Okay.
So Beacon would be safe.
4 6s coming at Legacy.
Oh, 4/6 attack is huge right now.
That's
Oh,
4 damage.
does not block any of it.
Yep.
Some really powerful Baron Blade.
Baron Blade is the only one who seems to be able to roll decent attacks this game.
And I think it's fitting that he does it against Legacy.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Legacy and Baron Blade are just bitter nemesis. Nemesis?
All right, Tachyon. She's still up.
They hate each other.
She is still up against all odds. I thought she was going to go down hard.
I'm gonna swap out.
Since she's so close to dying, I'd love her to see pushing the limits down. Pushing the limits.
There we
hey.
go.
I think this Tachyon player has watched me comment on Tachyons online before.
Oh, but I actually think they have. I think I was talking to him before the tournament a little bit, and they're like, yeah, we had to do some homework.
Yeah, good, good. I like hearing that.
Alright, I'm gonna take an aim for my first action.
Aim is your first action.
Yeah, Tachyon here taking 2 turns.
Do my sprint attack.
And then you get an attack.
Could
Okay, so
I
So-
think ideally they want to incapacitate
I'm surprised
Beacon
that
right
she
here.
aimed.
Beacon?
No, the height difference.
Yeah, they have to watch that height
I'm
difference.
You gotta make range.
I am surprised that she aimed
Right now, you're
to
at
pick up an
1,
aim token because, like, with a 3-die attack, an aim's not really as great. Like, if you were going to be lightspeed barraging, then sure, aim a lightspeed barrage. But with this, I'd rather see her make.
Got that in play? So then it is.
I think they're just hoping they roll that 1/6, and they just want to get that. They want to really get that 1 point of damage and want to make sure that they do it.
Yeah.
Guarantee it, I think is the word I was kind of looking for.
so I do my sprint next. That's my second action.
All right, yeah. So your first one is aim. The second is a sprint and attack. Are you going to use the aim token?
Wait, I'm sorry to destroy my own team here. You can't sprint and not run.
Here's the rules clarification. Can you choose to move 0 hexes when you sprint, or do you have to? Oh, you can move out of it and back into it, though.
All right, there.
So yes.
Never mind.
Yeah, she's just like deciding how she wants to attack here and where she's going to attack from. If she attacks from below on that lower elevation, she's going to have a lot less chance to actually incap Beacon here.
I was doing fine when you were like, no, why don't you go
I choose these my aim.
Okay. Yep. This is an aimed.
All right, so Tachyon's going to try to take down.
And there's that 6.
They have 3 6s.
3 6s.
That is, I was disparaging about the aim, but I take it back.
Yeah, I think they really wanted to guarantee that that beacon is in cap this turn before Tachyon takes that other turn.
You get overkilled by 2, so your corpse
And so that is a point for both teams. Both Team Tachyon and Sentinels of New England, they're tied up at 1 incapacitation each.
pass their corpse to beacon.
And they still have some
Team
time
Tachyon
left.
is still a little bit behind because both
Oh, yeah,
Legacy
certainly.
and Tachyon
Yeah, I mean, Team
are
Tachyon,
damaged, and there's no damage on either Baron Blade or Omnitron.
right, and at this point, where Tachyon is, she's going to have to do some sprinting over. I imagine she's going to sprint and attack Omnitron.
I'm going to do the sprint and attack.
All right, who are you going to sprint? Who are you going to attack?
Right here.
All right.
Yep.
Won't be able to enter these.
Right to Omnitron.
Him.
All right, so Tachyon is going after Omnitron. And I believe Tachyon still does have the unrelenting momentum out. And in fact, she does. So she's going to get another free attack against
No,
Omnitron
five-
after this.
5 and
And
6
then
is
she'll
pretty
take a
good.
whole nother turn.
Yeah.
And 1 point on Omnitron. You know, honestly, with a full turn of sprint attacks on Omnitron after this one, she's got a shot. And actually, she can sprint attack around Omnitron and sprint over to Baron Blade.
You're going to go back and forth.
I mean, would you focus trying to take down Omnitron? You know what? I kind of think I would.
I would too.
Because Omnitron, with his 3 power cards, starts off so strong and so powerful with that big beefy health pool. But if the first time you incap him, it takes 3 turns for him to get back to full strength.
Yeah, and this game's not going to run another 3 turns. I think that if Tachyon does, in fact,
You're like the slowest Tachyon ever. There you go. All right. So now, do you want to play?
So Tachyon took a point of damage to take another turn here. And I think she's going to be trying to take down Omnitron here.
I'm going to change to my synaptic interruption.
okay, so she's changing up for her defensive card, which is interesting. I mean, that's
And
that's
with only 1 health left, I don't see how that
I mean,
how
it's-
the defensive power is really going to.
I think she's just hoping that that +1 defense token,
saves her butt
because
for,
she
like,
does
one
pick up a
more
+1 defense token now.
All right. Sounds good.
Of course you are.
And, oh, no, hold on, sorry.
Think about it.
I'm going to pick an aim.
All right. So you're going to aim as your first action.
So she's aiming for her first action.
Do a surge and attack.
Your first attack.
And use my aim.
You're just going back and forth, staying in right? Okay. Tell me if you actually want to. So you're going to aim this first attack. Yes. 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 You got it.
Oh gosh, that was terrible.
Yeah.
So this 2 goes away, but it's an aim. It's just 2 3s.
2 3s coming at Omnitron. It's almost certainly going to get blocked.
Two.
Yep.
So
Oh, only 1 damage gets through.
One damage gets through. Okay, that was your.
Well,
that was
1
your
damage
second
getting
action.
through on that die roll, I think they're going to be happy with that.
Sprint attack is your third action. All right. Roll 3. I guess that
They really need to get an in cap here.
Oh,
6 6
6-6-4
4.
going against Omnitron.
That's a strong attack right
yeah,
there.
and she still gets even more attacks after this.
Nah, but 2 more gets through.
2 more gets through on Omnitron. My eye.
Okay, do you think Tachyon can do this?
And then you're going to do your sprint attack.
Sprint attack again.
3 more damage and Omnitron can be in cap.
Oh, my God, I
Oh,
rolled only auto misses.
wow. That is a whiff. All 3 of those 2s
But
are
you
auto
now
misses.
chipped down- you killed one
The
character,
fact that
chipped down
Omnitron's
one
down to
character.
3 hit points after Tachyon's assault, that's amazing. Unfortunately, it's a pretty safe bet that Baron Blade's going to take out either Tachyon or Legacy, if not both.
Yeah, Tachyon really needed an in cap there.
If I were Baron Blade, I would try to get right up and go after both of them because look at them. But first Omnitron gets rid of it. Oh, actually, Omnitron can almost certainly kill both of those easily.
During surge, defense +1. Then also, whenever Tachyon blocks attack dice for the first time each turn, she may reassign the.
I think
block
Omnitron
attack
just
dice
moves a
to
little bit
the
south
measuring
and
range.
probably
Now, here's the
disintegration cone maybe.
Yeah, here's the trick. If Tachyon, if she rolls well on her defense, could kill off Omnitron with the Synaptic Interruption. And she has a defense +1 token.
Oh, that's true.
But that's not necessarily a good strategy. It's just something that is possible and true.
First of 3 actions will be to aim,
All right, going to aim first.
and then my second action will
Does
be
not look like we're
ocular.
going to see a disintegration cone, which kind of saddens me.
No, I think we're
But it
seeing
looks
the-
like
we're
he
getting
is
an ocular
attacking
beam.
Legacy and Tachyon.
All right.
Yep.
Are you going to aim against either one of them?
I wonder if I were him, I'd aim against Legacy, since Legacy has 2 hit points, Tachyon has 1.
But that's also only going to be attacking.
Sounds like they're debating.
If I have reach 1, is it all targets within melee, or
So melee still has, it doesn't affect the melee miss of the attack. Like it still has to be adjacent. A melee attack must be adjacent. It always
Even if
has
I
to
have
be.
reach
So
Even if you're-
they're debating range right here because
Right.
Omnitron has a reach of +1,
Yeah.
which means he can like the die he rolls, like he can it'll work like they're closer to him almost.
So you're not going to aim.
All right, so he's not aiming. He's just ocular beamsing, not aiming. He's going to hang out of that aim in case he can drop something on it for the because he does have a third action after this.
You are aiming. Okay.
Oh, he is aiming.
Okay, aiming against Legacy.
All right, so
Beams against Legacy and Tachyon aimed against Legacy. Okay, cool.
I would have liked to seen an aim and remote tranquilizers
Oh,
to
wow.
possibly put minus defense die on them.
So 555. So 555 against Legacy, but don't change that all actually.
Well, 555 is very strong right here.
yeah, and Legacy, but Legacy just has
Against Tachyon.
so 2 4s and a 5 against Tachyon and 3 5s against Legacy.
Legacy needs to block 2 of these die.
And he's doing it right and making it. And Legacy does.
Oh wow! What a great defense
Legacy's
roll
still
there.
up, barely, but still up.
All right.
Yeah, Tachyon now has to roll.
Oh,
Tachyon
it's gone. That is 2 incapacitations for Sentinels of New England, with Tachyon being knocked out.
And Omnitron still has one more action.
One action left, and
after this
Omnitron-
to try to get Legacy.
But Omnitron is not adjacent to Legacy, so the fact that he knocked down Tachyon means that Legacy, he can't rocket stomp Legacy. He's going to have to remote tranquilizer Legacy, which is fine. That's entirely legitimate. If Omnitron doesn't get the kill, though, I don't think Absolute Zero can do enough on his turn to tie it up before Beacon comes out and drops somebody. No. And Tachyon's in the volcano. We have a character in the volcano. She's already dead, but it's still great.
Just throw her dead body in the
Oh,
volcano,
wow.
sacrifice her.
And he's dropping the remote tranquilizer on both Legacy and Absolute Zero just to make sure.
I think this is smart because if he misses Legacy, if he misses to get that incapacitation to win the game, he can still make it very difficult for Absolute Zero to come back and
Yep.
tie it up.
A lot of auto
that's-
misses this game.
2 4s coming against Absolute Zero and
2 4s against Legacy.
All right, so who's
This
rolling
could be
defense first?
game
Looks like
here.
Legacy's rolling defense.
This could be game.
Legacy blocks 1 and tries and block the other. That is an
And that-
incapacitation
and that is
for
victory.
the Sentinels of New England. They did it right before time, or at least a few minutes before time. They did a great job. It was a fantastic match. Both teams aggressively. Both teams had good control of their characters. I like to see the sportsmanship here at the end. That was a fantastic first match here for us.
Oh, that was really exciting. I think it was a little bit of a shame that Team Tachyon came out like right off the gate, but had some really poor dice rolls.
Yeah, the Team Tachyon had a solid strategy, and clearly the Tachyon player knew what he was doing and had a specific plan for what Tachyon was going to be doing in this match. But we didn't quite see it come to fruition.
Not getting 2 incapacitations on her 2-turn
Yep.
gambit really kind of set him back.
She did a great job tearing down Omnitron, but I feel like that sort of massive burst of attack from Tachyon needed to happen a full round earlier for it to have made a swing difference.
But she did rip through some of that armor.
Oh, yeah.
It was really
There
impressive.
was no doubt that Tachyon did a great job in this game and that she was scary. But the match was solidly played by the Sentinels of New England.
Sentinels of New England had a really good game plan,
They did.
I think they made the best use of Absolute Zero's first play.
Sure.
Instead of going south, going north, I think, really helped him.
I love that play happened in the mountains around the volcano. Not in the big, empty, nice, comfy field. Not down by the turrets. Nope, in the middle of the mountains.
They made it very difficult
by the volcano. And we
for
ended
Team
up
Tachyon.
with somebody in the volcano, even though they didn't really get hit by it. Anyway, that was a great match. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back in just 5 minutes or so with another round, so stay tuned for more.